there. It's good to have a memorandum, and you can kind of find this. I don't know if you can find this on the internet, because I drafted this. It's mine personally. I drafted it from scratch. I didn't take it from anything else. This right here is the invoice. You got to have a memorandum. The language of the memorandum basically states the law. That basically says how this is valid, but not so much as that. When you go into it, says trust company, Henwood versus all the apply 307 US 24, represented by the attached chain accepted for value bearing an account number and the account number for the invoice. Okay, so basically, when you got you see a citation like that, this was something or another about a case where I did read it before. It's been a while. The pledge by redemption of the pledge under public resolution House Resolution 192. Okay, and that's just a citation. It also cites House Resolution 92 having the authority to do a contract, trust contract, with something similar to what I have here. The claim document order complies with UCC 3-1-104. Read that. Okay, that was, and make it explicit what it is that you're doing as far as the term of the original contract. Unless the original negotiable instrument is dishonored in writing within 15 days of receipt of the Secretary of Treasury, claimant's financial institution is to release the credit on hold to the payee, which is the claimant, that's me, within the stipulated by regulation Truth in Lending Act, which is 3 days, on the designated whichever is later. Okay, 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock would be 24 hours, or a total of 72 hours. 3 days is truth in lending. Okay, for a contract. After that, it's a binding agreement. Okay, anytime before that, you can pretty much rescind the contract. And then anyway, so that just gives you kind of a statement there. So this is what I do. I just take this bad boy here, paper clip it up to 56 form. 56 form is the notice of concerning a fiduciary relationship. Look that up. A fiduciary relationship is somebody that's responsible on behalf of another party. Okay, in this half, you always want to make the person, the presenter, the person that's giving the presentment, which will be the, in this case, it was the director of Indiana.gov, and that's their portal. But you know, I put here the general manager. She's the fiduciary. Her responsibilities: how long? A 3/4 week limited power of attorney. Let's see. Section B: nature of liability and tax notices. I'll be using a 1040, 1041, 1096, and 1099A. I go explicitly into that. I told you it tells a lot to do when it comes to discharging a debt. It is a lot of paperwork, and this really kind of sets the line between people that are serious and not serious, and it weeds out the people that aren't diligent when it comes to this type of process. Okay. And then you have part 2. You do not sign that. Okay, don't sign that because that's for the fiduciary. However, you give them 3 days, three times within a 30-day time limit before they can go into default. The first time being the notice of demand, second opportunity to cure, and the third time, which would definitely be notice of non-response. Okay, so if they go into a default and you don't hear anything from them, you wouldn't need to sign that. It's an automatic because they didn't consent to it. I mean, they acquiescence to the terms of the agreement, as to say that if I don't hear from you, then it stands as law, basically. Okay, so you know, it's a responsibility on behalf of you to respond when you don't. Like say it's a light bill or whatever, and they cut your bill off because you didn't pay it. It's because you didn't respond. Okay, so they went ahead and proceeded as forth, whatever stated forth in the contract. Okay, you also want to have identification here. I got mine. United States of America Certificate of Office of the State of Indiana. This is authenticated by the Secretary of State. Okay, and it's also backed up. Okay, also it says term of office included, says to all justice and elsewhere in testimony whereof I have unto set my hand and caused to be affixed to the great seal of the state of Indiana. Okay, so Once you do that, and this is certification. Okay. So right here we got, creek running water. Okay. We got name of titles there. I got 2 signatures right there. And then you read it says, using a notary of this document does not constitute any adhesion, nor does it alter my indigenous standing process. Okay. So I don't use a social security number. I have a 98 number. That 98 is used for foreign transactions, paper, so forth. I got the document number here. It is notarized by a authenticated. It is authenticated with the Secretary of State. Okay, on behalf of the notary. Okay, in the public, and that the term should include justice and elsewhere. Okay, so it's backed up by the full faith and credit. So you definitely want to have your ID, and you want to separate or make a differential. You want to differentiate yourself between you and the legal person. Okay, you being a natural person. Also, we go over here. This is the A for V. I don't do the A for V red signature 45-degree angle. That to me is just kind of too sovereign citizenship-ish. But I will try to show a little bit. We're kind of redacted with my hand a little bit. Okay, so you got Creek Running Water, the principal party in interest, okay, and the straw man name there. Okay, so you got Shalom Right, that's where it's going to, affidavit acceptance and a close for presentment, okay, for value. Dear Ms. Wright, I'm Creek Running Water, the beneficial owner of the Maurice Ivy Trust. Signatee of said account number. It says with regards to the Indiana annual fee invoice number received on August the 10th via United States Postal Service in the matter in order for me to return correspondence. It says please find and close an acceptance of your invoice in the sum of $95. See, I did accept that. See, it says right there, it says an acceptance. Okay, right there. Sorry. Okay, and your invoice in the sum of $95 and the money order generated therefrom. I am taking the opportunity by myself to make myself perfectly clear with full disclosure and no misunderstanding, operating with clean hands and good faith. I will not accept, okay, and I underline that, the transfer of the principal obligation from Indiana.gov, Indiana Interactive LLC respondents, which is they're the respondents. Okay, the presentment has been lawfully accepted for value return, for value for settlement, and has been forwarded to the proper IRS processing office. IRS regulations require that we issue 1099 forms to certain companies and individuals in order to accurately prepare these forms. IRS requires that we obtain and maintain Form W-9. So I did that. I just, basically stated his, that I put myself down as a creditor. Okay. Okay, and there's some other important information on there. I'm going to skip past that. I do have a notary acknowledgement there, signed for it. Okay, and I did use my free name, okay, which is my religious appellation. Okay, now also go here. We have the same indication of party of interest. Okay, I have people like to use his Belize, Central America, because my address outside the country. And I'm using a notary as the acceptor, okay? So he's the mediator between me and the respondents, okay? And this is a fiduciary appointment authorization, okay? And I showed you earlier the 56 form, okay? And this goes to IRS, but IRS also makes notice that you have to notify them of a fiduciary assignment, which I did here, okay? And this is a notification, all the rights and responsibilities, okay? And I made myself sign right here, UCC 3-402. Go read that one, B1. Okay, and then I signed again right here. Okay, this right here is letting you know all the contents that's inside there. Okay, UCC finances statement 3, which shows this belongs to trust. It's all property belonging to the debtor belongs to the secured party. Debtor is a transmitting utility. Debtor is a trust. See complete property list. I'm not going to show too much of this information. Some of it's it's not public. Okay, so but anyway, this gives myself the authority to give her the right to fiduciary, showing them where my delegation of authority is that derives from the principal, and outside the principal, meaning the straw man, I'm the one that's the agent for the principal. Okay, and you have to also state that it's important tax return document on the document IRS when you go to publication. I don't know, Tim. I know it might even be in publication 1212, where it states that you have to indicate that it is an important tax document that is included. Some of the things I did with that was already I pre-did the Secretary of State apostille, okay, and I did one